The JonBenét Ramsey case is a haunting and perplexing tale that has continued to captivate and intrigue people around the world for decades. As we embark on this journey, we will meticulously unravel the layers of this enigma, delving deep into the labyrinth of evidence, conflicting theories, and the myriad of unanswered questions surrounding this case. It is a story where innocence was tragically shattered, leaving behind whispers of conspiracy that still echo to this day. In this video, we will talk about the theory that an intruder may have killed JonBenét Ramsey. Before moving on, consider subscribing to the channel, as this is the most effective way to help the production of new videos. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell to never miss an upload. Thanks for the support. And now, let's get back to it. John and Patsy Ramsey were parents to two children, their son Burke, who was 9 years old, and their daughter JonBenét, who was 6, named after her father, JonBenét, and her mother, Patricia, also called Patsy. JonBenét Patricia Ramsey was born on August 6, 1990, in Atlanta, Georgia. JonBenét was an outgoing Southern girl who enjoyed being the center of attention. By age 6, she had already won multiple pageant titles, thanks to her bouncy blonde hair, poised smile, and glittery costumes. The family enjoyed a comfortable lifestyle, with John's estimated net worth reported to be around $6 million, as per financial records found on their family computer. John had previously served as the president of Access Technologies and had recently sold the company to Lockheed Martin. Meanwhile, Patsy, a former beauty queen who held the title of Miss West Virginia in 1977, dedicated her time to being a stay-at-home mom. The Ramseys were known for their active social life and frequently hosted gatherings and parties in their welcoming home. During the evening of Christmas 1996, John, Patsy, and their daughter JonBenét Ramsey returned to their Boulder, Colorado residence after attending a gathering at a friend's house. While the 6-year-old JonBenét dozed off in the car, her parents carried her into the house and upstairs to her bedroom. After putting her to bed, they retired for the night, planning to wake up early the following day to start their trip to their second home on Lake Michigan. The following day, just past 5 a.m., Patsy woke up and made her way to the kitchen. As she ascended the staircase, she stumbled upon a 3-page note declaring that JonBenét had been taken by a small foreign faction and was being held for ransom of $118,000, with her life hanging in the balance if the ransom was not paid. The note specified that JonBenét would be exchanged for the money on December 27th. Patsy swiftly called out to John and rushed back upstairs to JonBenét's room, only to discover her missing. In a frenzied state, John and Patsy reached out to the police, and Patsy's call reached the 911 dispatcher at 5:25 a.m. The authorities arrived at the Ramsey home just 7 minutes later. In the early afternoon, after the forensic team and other officers had departed, Detective Arndt remained at the Ramsey home, waiting with the family. The atmosphere was changed with a quiet, palpable tension. John Ramsey paced relentlessly around the living room, while Patsy sat almost frozen in her chair. Detective Arndt, wanting to keep John occupied, noted in her police report that she needed to find him something to do. She pulled John Ramsey and their friend Fleet White aside, instructing them to conduct a thorough search of the house for anything unusual. When John Ramsey opened the basement door, the one Officer French had missed earlier, he discovered JonBenét's body. "All I could do was scream to try to attract attention," he later recounted. Fleet White sprinted upstairs, shouting for someone to call 911. White later told police he checked the basement room earlier that morning, but had not seen the body. John Ramsey tore the duct tape from JonBenét's mouth and carried her upstairs, laying her gently on the floor. For reasons unclear, Detective Arndt then moved JonBenét's body to the living room, placing her near the Christmas tree. John knelt beside her, murmuring, "My little angel," over and over. Friends had to carry a stunned Patsy to JonBenét's side, where she threw herself over her daughter's body, overcome with grief. After the investigation began, the ransom amount, suspiciously low given the Ramseys' wealth, piqued investigators' interest. One theory proposed that the amount mirrored a bonus John Ramsey received that year, while another speculated it matched his liabilities, recorded on his home computer as $1,118,000. Intriguingly, the ransom was specified in various denominations: hundreds, 20s, 10s, etc. So, investigators gathered handwriting samples from a myriad of individuals, including John, Patsy, and their son Burke Ramsey, his friend Fleet White, Bill McReynolds, who played Santa Claus at the Ramseys' Christmas party, neighbor Joe Barnhill, and over 60 others. Handwriting experts swiftly cleared John Ramsey, but Patsy's situation was far murkier. Despite analyzing at least 5 of her handwriting samples in numerous historical writings, experts could neither confirm nor deny Patsy as the author. No other suspects matched the handwriting, placing Patsy under intense scrutiny. Investigators noted her handwriting seemed to change after the murder. Boulder Police investigator Steve Thomas stated, "The most significant evidence in the case was the pen, the pad, the ransom note, and the handwriting. After 18 months, we presented our findings to the district attorney's office. Of the 73 individuals whose handwriting was examined, only one, Patsy Ramsey, could not be eliminated, showing evidence suggesting authorship and being present in the home that night." Frustrated by the case's stagnation, Steve Thomas resigned from the Boulder Police Department and later penned a book asserting his belief in Pat Ramsey's guilt. The autopsy revealed that JonBenét's cause of death was due to strangulation and/or a severe skull fracture. She had been strangled with a garrote fashioned from a nylon cord and a paintbrush handle, and her skull showed signs of blunt force trauma. JonBenét was also likely sexually assaulted, either digitally or with a paintbrush, though there was no evidence of rape. The brush part of the paintbrush was found among Pat Ramsey's art supplies, but the top third was never found, despite thorough searches by law enforcement in the days following her death. Experts pointed out that creating the garrote required specialized knot-tying knowledge typically posed by sailors or other skilled individuals. Investigators speculated that John Ramsey might have known how to tie the knot due to his extensive sailing experience. Additionally, the autopsy indicated that JonBenét had consumed pineapple a few hours before her death, although both her parents claimed ignorance of this. A bowl of pineapple with a spoon was discovered on the kitchen table. Neither Patsy nor John recalled placing the bowl there or giving JonBenét the pineapple. The failure of John and Patsy Ramsey to cooperate with the investigation raised suspicions about the involvement in the eyes of the public. Furthermore, many people viewed JonBenét's enthusiastic participation in beauty pageants, where she was required to wear heavy makeup and elaborate outfits, as inappropriate. The investigation into JonBenét's murder lasted for over 2 years. However, in October 1999, the grand jury that was reviewing the case was dismissed without making any recommendations for pressing charges. Nevertheless, the jury did vote to accuse the Ramseys of child endangerment and obstructing a murder investigation, but the prosecutor chose not to pursue these charges. On the other hand, the intruder theory had considerable physical evidence supporting it. A boot print was discovered next to JonBenét's body that did not match anyone in the family. Additionally, a broken basement window was identified as a potential entry point for an intruder. DNA from an unknown male was found in small bloodstains on her underwear. The heavily carpeted floors in the Ramsey home could have allowed an intruder to carry JonBenét downstairs without waking the family. One of the best notable suspects was John Carr, who was arrested in 2006 after confessing to accidentally killing JonBenét following an alleged drugging and assault. Carr was apprehended in Thailand, where he had been living as a fugitive after facing charges related to child pornography in the United States. His involvement began when he contacted Michael Tracy, a professional at the University of Colorado Boulder, via email regarding a documentary Tracy was producing about the case. However, the emails took a disturbing turn, revealing Carr's unsettling obsession with JonBenét. Upon receiving these troubling emails, Tracy alerted the police, leading to Carr's arrest in Bangkok as a potential suspect. He was swiftly transported to Boulder for questioning. Despite the intense scrutiny, Carr was eventually cleared when his DNA did not match the profile of an unknown male found on JonBenét's long johns. Carr's disturbing admission came through a series of diary entries supposedly penned from the crime scene. In one particularly chilling account, Carr described strangling JonBenét during what he referred to as a love game that went horribly wrong. "Close your pretty eyes, sweetheart," the excerpt reads, with Carr repeatedly calling himself Daxus. "Daxus loves you so much. Oh God, I love you, JonBenét, and my lover's eyes are slowly closing." Carr's alleged connection to the case made international headlines, and his adamant claim of responsibility sparked a media frenzy. However, he was ultimately dismissed as a suspect and labeled a pedophile seeking attention and fame. Authorities also failed to confirm his presence in Boulder at the time of the crime. According to a 2010 report by the Daily Beast, the once suspect now lives under a new identity and a new gender in the Pacific Northwest. However, Carr was later dismissed as a suspect because no drugs were found in JonBenét's system. Police could not place him in Boulder at the time, and his DNA did not match the evidence. More recent investigations have focused on DNA profiles developed from the samples found in her underwear, and later from her long johns. The profile from her underwear was entered into CODIS, the National DNA Database, in 2003, but no matches have been found. As time passed and the investigation got more sophisticated, several theories emerged. Thus, just 4 years later, in December 2000, Boulder police arrested Gary Olivia on a drug charge. He was found to have a photo of JonBenét Ramsey in his possession, along with a poem titled Ode to JonBenét. In 2019, Gary Olivia seamlessly confessed to JonBenét's death in a series of troubling jailhouse letters and poems, claiming he accidentally killed the 6-year-old. Olivia had been fixated on JonBenét for years and had numerous images of her on his phone when he was arrested in 2016. Additionally, Olivia had lived near JonBenét at the time of her death and even attended a vigil marking the 1-year anniversary of her passing. Gary Howard Olivia was born on January 7, 1964, and grew up in California. According to The Sun, his former high school classmates referred to him as Scary Gary and reported that he exhibited erratic behavior such as deliberately burning himself or running screaming through the streets. He also made disturbing jokes about necrophilia. Additionally, it was reported that he had a fascination with knots and a peculiar habit of breaking into homes to steal art supplies. After high school, Olivia began exchanging audio cassette tapes with his former classmate Michael Vale to stay in touch. Initially, Vale recalls, the recordings were lighthearted and innocent. However, in 1989, Olivia's tapes took a darker turn. In one recording, Olivia reportedly pretended to be babysitting a friend's daughter and made inappropriate jokes. In another tape, he made disturbing comments about children. The tapes started getting darker, more disturbing, and sickening. It would turn my stomach, Vale told CBS in 2002. Vale also mentioned that some of the tapes were smeared with blood. Additionally, he claimed Olivia sent him packages containing hair and posters of missing girls. Despite these confessions, Gary Olivia has never been charged with the murder. Then, Boulder auto salvage worker Michael Helgoth was identified as the potential perpetrator by a private investigator hired by the Ramsey family. The investigator's theory implied that Helgoth murdered the child in retaliation for a property dispute he was reportedly involved in with the Ramseys. However, the main suspect was deceased within 2 months of the murder. Michael Helgoth apparently took his own life the day after District Attorney Alex Hunter announced they were closing in on the perpetrator in 1997. Nonetheless, this event began to appear as if it could have been a murder. Helgoth was right-handed, but the trajectory of the fatal bullet went from left to right. In Helgoth's apartment, a pair of high-tech boots, a stun gun, a baseball cap with the letters SBTC on it, and a videotape of a news story about the unsolved kidnap and murder of a 6-year-old girl were discovered. However, DNA has since cleared Helgoth of any involvement. Even after numerous confessions, clues, and conspiracy theories, authorities have made no significant progress in solving the case of JonBenét Ramsey's murder. From 1996 to 2024, the mystery persists, leaving the question of who murdered JonBenét Ramsey unanswered. Whether we will ever uncover the truth remains uncertain, Regrettably, the complete truth about JonBenét Ramsey's death is a tragic enigma that will likely perish with her. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and feel free to share your thoughts on the case in the comment section below. We'll see you next time.